When your opponent has a bishop and you don't, you got to watch out for your weak squares. He was able to set up an attack very quickly there. Yeah, let's play the French. Why is he doing that? That's a weird decision. Okay, so I'm going to stomp the pin and I'll be able to place my bishop here. I don't know, I guess in this structure, this is the so-called ram structure, you kind of want the bishop to be out a little bit. But he does need to defend this pawn eventually. Yeah, I could put my knight here and let him take it. No, I need to... Never mind. He has both the bishop and the knight on that square. I was wondering if I could keep this pawn and maintain it here, but he takes it right away. Okay, let's get rid of this light squared bishop here. Let's get the rook out here. Okay, so I can play knight up here. If he takes, I will take here with check and then take his knight, so I get 2 pieces for the bishop. And otherwise, I am going to create a weak pawn here. You still can't take this pawn. And I can get to this square. Okay, he still can't take this pawn. Although he's getting close to the point where I'll have to defend it. I have a nice fork here. If I get rid of the bishop, then I could play the fork. But it's like giving up an exchange to get an exchange, so maybe not worth it. You know, I could do a maneuver with my bishop. I could go here and then here to attack this pawn. So he decides discretion is the better part of valor here. Let's take... he's going to get this pawn at the end, I see. But I get this pawn. Okay, let's take here first. If he takes this pawn, I can take his rook with check at least. So he takes the rook. Now I've got 2 pawns hanging. He can take this one or this one, but I don't think he can get both of them. So he's not taking either. Interesting. So, well, he's threatening another pawn, so it's all good. I'll just unpin this pawn so I can take his bishop if he tries to sacrifice it here. He does that anyway. Okay. Oh, my bishop is there. Oh. Well, I didn't see that. No, it's very clever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's still, I'm up a pawn still, but my pawns are very weak. My pawns are all shaky. So we'll start with defending this pawn. If he trades, I will take. If he takes the pawn, I will trade queens. Then I'll come in here with my rook and start harassing this pawn. So he didn't do that. Interesting. I'm going for the fork. I'm setting up a fork of these 2 pawns. Although I just realized he could put his rook here. Okay, he didn't do that. Let's go for this pawn. Yeah, now he saw that. I guess he didn't want his rook being pinned. He has the queen check here, but my queen is defending here. He checks and I step up here. He could actually bring his rook in because that would pin this pawn and his rook could sit on this square attacking my queen. But then I could take here with check. Okay, I'll be okay. Let's attack that queen, see if we can force some action here. It's a tough game to play with with all of the with the open board and the high-powered pieces, the queen and the rook, very powerful pieces, and lots of open lines with the pawns scattered, makes it a tough game. So I can take that and set up a discovered check. And I can use the discovered check to to win his rook. Okay, so now I can, if he doesn't have anything, his rook is pinned, so only his queen could check me. And I think I have all the checks covered. So let's attack his rook and then just go to an endgame. If I get all the pieces off, then it's an easily winning endgame for me. Yeah. Let's see, he can't stop this pawn from queening. Yeah, he resigned. His where's the square of the pawn? It's like this. He can't step inside it in time. Okay, let's get a new game. Hieronymus. Okay, we're going to play a Nimso-Indian, it looks like. Yeah, Nimso-Indian. Oh, he kicks the bishop immediately. So this is the same-ish variation. What do I want to play? I think I start undermining the pawns over here. Okay, maybe I'll bring the knight out here this time. I guess I'm going to have to kick that bishop, huh? Oh. Well, that wasn't so hard, was it? Let's see. So knight here, he pushes, I take, he takes. Maybe I castle first. Knight here, he pushes. I could move my knight here. So ignores all of that. I guess I could do this with the pawns then. Frees up a line for my bishop. The knight can come around to the king side, like so. Hieronymus is thinking. If he takes, I can take back with the knight and leave him with the doubled isolated pawns. Yeah, that's T. So he takes that away. Okay. That's curious. That's not what I expected. He still has these double isolated pawns, but they're not so easy to attack when he's got not so easy to attack when he's got this pawn blocking the way. But he's going to take this pawn, which means I'll be able to attack the pawns. He's going to solve my problem for me. So I just put the bishop here, force him to take the pawn. Well, I could just defend the pawn too. My queen defends the knight. He went back. Well, we'll have to look at that after the game. I was wondering if he could do something with an exchange here. Anyway, exploiting this rook. So anyway, I changed my idea about the bishop and I decided to bring it out here instead. Still like the idea of this Date maneuver. So yeah, he's gone very defensive here. Curious. So, I'm thinking of putting my knight on f4, and rook on d8 here. Maybe double the rooks. So, yeah, he put the rook there. Let's bring this out. It'll force a move of some kind because the bishop is loose. Okay, now let's move the rook over here. Maybe up and then bring the rook over. There's a trick here where you take and the bishop takes and then you can pin it. But you have to have a pawn ready to attack it pretty quickly to make it worthwhile doing. Oh, he changed his mind about the rook, huh? Well, I'll just defend it, I guess. I can't see anything better at the moment. Yeah, so I want to keep control of this file, so I want to take back with my queen. I can put the bishop here, attack this pawn. Take advantage of those weak pawns. I guess he could that wouldn't work either. If he brings the bishop back to defend, I take it, queen takes, I take the rook, queen takes, and then I take the pawn. And the bishop is in a position where it dominates the knight, so it'd be a good end game for me, pawn up in the dominating bishop. Although there would be queens on, so it would be tricky. Yeah, he's going to do that, it looks like. So he's attacking my bishop and this pawn, but the pawn is defended, so let's just move the bishop somewhere safe. Well, we can defend the bishop where it stands. I like that position for the bishop, keeping his knight from going anywhere. And then what? Yeah, these pawns are all defended here. Let's take our position on the c file here. And he resigned. Yeah, I mean, I've got some threats here. That's a threat of mate, and also it's a fork that wins the knight. If we erase the paint here, this bishop is controlling all the squares the knight can go to as well. So it may seem like it was premature to resign there, but it really wasn't. Let's see. So if we turn on the engine, yeah, it's -7. That's big. Yeah, that was a sad night. So if we go back, there was an interesting point here where he just retreated. Yeah, I played my pawn up and he just retreated the queen. What I wondered is, could he have actually taken here? Because if I take, then he can take the rook. But this is good for me too, apparently. He got a rook for a knight. So he's up the exchange at this point, but I can play here. So I'm saved by this move. It's a double attack. I'm attacking the queen, and I'm attacking the bishop. So if he moves the queen, I take the bishop. So I didn't see that far ahead. I just noticed this tactical possibility after I played b3, or while I was thinking about b3. I said, well, we'll just deal with that when it comes. So after he takes, yeah, the best move is knight takes e5. Let him have the rook because of that trick with the bishop. Curious. Crushed him, huh? Well, thank you, Wolfsbane. Let's go back and get another move. Another game. And hello, Timo. Good to see you again. Let's see, play a Sicilian. Okay, this is the classical variation. It's a forking point where if I'd played, what is that, a6, that would be the Najdorf, and if I'd played g6, that would be the dragon. e6 would be the Scheveningen. Let's stall for a move and see what he plans to do with his bishops. Yeah, he put the bishop there. I thought he might do that. So this is a reasonable counter to a bishop there. I kind of wasted a move by playing a6, but it's okay, I think. Gonna put the bishop here, and get castled. So I have a lot of force on the d5 square, so I can actually push pawn to d5. Threaten pawn to d4. So let's push it now. He takes, I take, knight takes, queen takes. Yeah, it's because he has the queen in front. Can't really take that. Well, he can take it once or twice, but eventually he has to stop. Take. Yeah, and then he loses material if he tries taking it again. Because if knight takes, I can just take back, and he can't do anything about it. Aha. So let's push here. You notice Japanese movies have an interesting way of presenting questions they never answer. Yeah, I find that kind of annoying at times, actually. So this will lead to some complications. So I'm attacking his queen. He can take this bishop and attack my queen. But if he just takes the knight, I can take the bishop. Okay, so I can take his queen. He can take my queen. We're even now, right? We each got a piece. So I take his queen. He takes my queen. I take his rook. I think I come out ahead. So which movie or book did you read? So he can either save his bishop or take my knight. He can try and do both, right? He can attack here. He resigned. Yeah, I don't think anything works here. This is, if we turn this on, yeah, it's -7. So if he goes here, it doesn't work because I can just attack his bishop. Yeah, it's so I'm a whole rook up in this line. So why am I a whole rook up? Oh yeah, because he never was able to take my knight back. So I didn't just win the exchange, I won a rook. So this was bad from the beginning if we go back. When he played that move, it suddenly jumped to -8. But even this is bad. This is -2, so it's good for black. So he went astray in the opening there. Oh, you just saw the movie Suzume. Yeah, I've been thinking of... it sounded interesting. I saw some ads. Okay, somebody new? Okay, Mahmoud Mamiel Masri. He played the knight out. And who was the talking cat? Okay, I think I'll play in English, Symmetrical English. That seems to be what he's going for too. Then there's another talking cat. Well, you know, you can't have just one. So if I move my knight, I have to be careful. But he has to be careful now. His bishop is loose, so I can move my knight with tempo. If I move my knight with tempo, I can catch his bishop. But I guess I'll just play d4 here in this situation. d5, rather. It's kind of a reverse King's Indian sort of situation. So I could put this pawn all the way forward to here. Block out that bishop. But I kind of like the idea of keeping some tension in the position. I'm going to try and exchange off. The light squared bishop. So the way I'm going to do it is, yeah, I don't want him taking. Okay. Well, this is going to turn into a whole lot of nothing, isn't it? He was playing to kind of shut in my bishop, but it looks like he's not even going to do that. Anyway, my idea was to go here with my bishop and get behind it with my queen. Let's see if he decides to trade queens. Yes, he does. Okay. Well, I get the rook to the center first. Is he going to oppose my rook? And Yes, he is. So I go here with the knight. Knight takes, rook takes, pawn takes. Let's attack the pawns. Interesting. Yeah, I have suspicions of who they were, but the movie never actually explicitly told you, okay, so here, here, or here. He's got nowhere he can go. I see. He's going to use his... here, we can solve this problem simply. He's using his rook to attack this pawn. I didn't especially want to push it. Yeah, now that's a resign.